her legacy. My hope here is that this resolves the question, right? After Tom Homan was deployed to Minneapolis, we saw a radical change in the tactic, going back to that more traditional targeted approach, less disruptive, hopefully more focused on actual criminal aliens and not on, individuals who have just been here a long time and have used as family members. But it's going to be interesting to see to me whether, I do think Secretary Noem's departure makes a big difference, and I hope it ends that debate of whether the style, whether we want to have more Minneapolises or more of the traditional immigration enforcement.
Yeah, my colleague Jacob Soboroff, who's been covering immigration for so long, he's got laryngitis, so he can't join us. He has no voice. But he put this out on social media regarding the replacement of Noem with Mullen. He compared it to, or just cautioned that last time that this happened, when Donald Trump replaced Kirstjen Nielsen after the family separation disaster in 2019 and all of the bad headlines and the horror from the American public, rightly so. He put in Kevin McAleenan, then Chad Wolf. And Jacob notes that both of whom were involved in that policy, in the child separation policy, which has been deemed torture by outside groups. So I guess how much should we expect the culture to change at DHS? After all, it is still the same president, the same top immigration advisor, Stephen Miller.
Yeah, listen, as Laura reported a minute ago that the president liked the operations. I think the president probably did like the operations until it went, it went south, right? But I will tell you this, Katie, when Tom Homan got on the scene in Minneapolis, he was not shy about saying he was not happy with the way things had gone, right? I mean, he was a little more political than that, but you heard him say again and again that mistakes were made, right? That we're going to do it smarter. We're going to go target it. There was the sense I get, and from talking to people as well, there was a divide at DHS over the Noem/Border Patrol Bovino type approach, surge operations, very, very public displays of force, right? That really wasn't about the quality. And you heard Senator Tillis go, his rant about that, right? Not about the quality of who they're grabbing, but the quantity, and about demonstrating their presence. There was not a uniform administration position. Holman was opposed to that. Various reporting says that the CBP commissioner was opposed to that, right? There's a lot of tension about this, including at ICE. So I am actually slightly optimistic here that the elimination of Secretary Noem is going to see, hopefully, an end to that style of operation, right? That we're not going to see another Minneapolis, another Chicago. Of course, time will tell, and we'll see. Maybe Senator Mullen, adopts the same types of tactics. But I am more optimistic that a lot of the design and how this mass deportation was being conducted, everything that was so disturbing to see in Minneapolis, hopefully we've seen the end of that with the end of Secretary Noem.
We will see. Again, we're still waiting to find out when she was alerted to this news. The writing has been on the wall. Laura said that. Jake said that. Vaughn has said that. Anybody who's been watching, I think it's been relatively clear that she was on the outs. She had to go to the White House, remember, in the aftermath of Minneapolis with Corey Lewandowski and basically pitch herself to the president so he didn't fire her. But I do wonder at what point she knew this was actually a done deal. I think I'm getting a piece of paper. Let me read this. What is this about? This is from Kristi Noem. She has just posted on social media. Thank you, POTUS, for appointing me as the special envoy for the Shield of the Americas. Secretary Rubio and the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, are incredible leaders, and I look forward to working with them closely to dismantle cartels that have poured drugs into our nation and killed our children and grandchildren. The Western Hemisphere is absolutely critical for U.S. security. In this new role, I will be able to build on the partnerships and national security expertise I forged over the last 13 months as Secretary of Homeland Security. She goes on, but she now